Hello, everybody. It is me, John Michael Davella. It's 1:04 a.m. on Thursday, and I'm going to do a special video. It was requested by one of my fellow Antioch High alumni, Jody Smith. A shout out to you, my boy Jody. um, this is a video about the 2 years I played JV football on Antioch High School. So I'm going down a trip down memory lane. So what do I remember? I remember going into the beginning of the summer during practice that I was a complete couch potato. I ate junk food. I ate a bunch of shit that wasn't healthy. I remember being one of the slowest people on the team, but I remember being an inspiration to the team because, I would always go no pain, no gain, and I'd always hit the ground hard during practice. I went by Big Dog because that was my nickname from middle school, and because I wore the Big Dog shirts from the Big Dog Company. But I remember thinking, I'm not going to make it past the summer. I didn't think I was going to really make it, but I did. I made it through. And I remember during the games for both of my years, I would run through I'd be the first one running through that banner because I was such an inspiration. Even though I didn't start, I was such an inspiration. I really loved my coaches, Coach Vern, Coach Lucido, and Coach Mercado. I forgot my other coach's name. Darn, I hate it when I can't remember it. Some locker room stories. I remember being in the locker room one day. I don't know if it was before the school year or during the school year. Three of my teammates and we were cleaning our cleats in the locker room. And at the time, Coach Ferris Anthony, who was the head coach, caught us, but he didn't see me, even though I was right in front of him. But the other two were across, but he could see those two cleaning their cleats on the ground by hitting them on the ground, and he was like to them, "Don't clean your shoes in here. Don't clean your shoes. Don't clean your shoes in here." And I'm right in front of him. I'm to the side of him, and they're diagonal, and he can see them, but he can't see me, and I'm still hitting my cleat against the ground, trying to get the dirt off. I also I kind of remember this. I think most of the people who played there, they played football when they were younger, so they kind of did this. They did this to me and a couple of the guys who never played football. They kind of did an initiation thing, even though it was kind of crude. They made me drink hot sauce, and that was kind of crude. But it's an initiation thing, I think. I remember one time Coach Vern said if I knew the answer to a riddle that he gave me, that we could finish practice early, and I got the riddle right. I forgot what the riddle was, though. I also remember one time when my late grandfather and my late dog/sister came to practice with my father, and I told Coach that was my grandfather. He said that he wanted me to run the drills because my grandfather was there. That was really nice of Coach Vern, and I still remember him for that to this day. What else do I remember? Oh, geez. There was this one lineman who was a big guy like me. He and I were some of the slowest teammates. His name was Stephen Viramontes, God rest his soul. He got injured during practice. I think he dislocated his shoulder. This was late 2003. About a year and a half later, he died of leukemia. He died in May of 2005 from leukemia, but he was an inspiration to the team like I was. We both were really inspirational. I remember Coach Burns saying, like, after he dislocated his shoulder, that, man, I didn't make that tackle, coach, during practice. That's all he could talk about. um, so my first year, we only won 2 games, but we won the games that I played, and I remember my dad telling me that while I was playing on the game where I was a team captain and I called a coin toss to defer, I think that was coach was really smart, thinking strategically. There is if you defer the coin toss, that means they get the ball first, so they get to be on offense first and we're on defense, and that was pretty smart because we ended up winning that game. But I remember my dad telling me when I got out there that guys were like, "Oh, did he hit anybody? Did he tackle somebody? Did he get somebody?" And I think they were like, "I don't know." Yeah, that's what my dad told me, and I never found out who those people were. um, who else? Yeah, there were 2 freshmen on our team, and we had 1 junior on our team that year. But man, Coach Fern was the best coach, even though we only won 2 games because a couple of the guys were screwing off during practice, just and they were some of the starting players, and it's like, you're only as good as your starting lineup. Um, second year, it wasn't as enjoyable because the coaches that were there last year weren't there anymore. But Coach Lucido, man, he's the head varsity coach at Antioch High, and they're doing good. They've won all their games so far. And tomorrow's the homecoming game at Freedom High, so they're going to do pretty good. I can feel it. Yeah, Coach Lucido has moved up in the ranks. He was an assistant JV coach 12 years ago when I was playing, and 12 years later, he's the head varsity coach. I mean, wow. My second year, I had a doctor that gave me a lot of medication. It made me hallucinate. It made me not hungry, and it made me not sleepy. And I would I'd have times where I'd hallucinate. And I was at the high school one time, and I jumped in the pool and I pulled the fire alarm, and it was bad. The head varsity coach, Coach Ferris Anthony, was there, and he tells me that he still remembers that. And he was telling me that some of the kids thought I was drowning, but no, I was swimming like a fish. Yeah, I mean, after that whole thing went down, I was hospitalized. It was hell. But I'll tell you, playing football was one of the best things in my life because it taught me brotherhood, and it taught me to be together. There was this one thing that really did bother me, though, about the football helmet. I had big ears and I had a lot of hair, and the football helmet on my head hurt to put it on and to take it off because I had such a big head and big ears. Yeah, and one other thing, halfway during the football season my second year, this guy that I really didn't care for because he was such a jerk to me, he got to play again, even though the first time around, the beginning of the season, when you were supposed to have grades coming into the practice, like during the summer, all of the rest of us had to go through the practice section. We had to go through Hell Week, and it's like, this guy, just because he's good and he has grades during the school year, he gets to come back in and get a free pass? I'm like, hell no. We all had to work our asses off, and we all made grades before the beginning of the next school year. And I was just pissed off. I didn't start, but still, I was pissed off. We all worked our asses off during practice, during Hell Week and all that. And this guy just comes in the middle of the school season just because either he knows the coach, and and it's like it was handed to him, and it's like that's not fair to the rest of us. It wasn't. All right, so this is my video. I hope you guys find it funny and enjoyative and reminiscing of good times. Antioch High Panthers, hoorah! Panther Pride. Panther Pride!